Yes, good morning, everyone. I can see few of our participants are going for presentation mode. Kindly don't present. Mute your audio and video system so that it will be effective for the today's resource person.
Saraman sir, we can start. A resource person is with us. We can start.
Yes, Father. We can start our program. Yes, good morning, everyone. I'm extremely delighted to start our International Webinar Series 6. The PG Department of Commerce welcome you all for the first session of the webinar series. Our today's first session resource person, Dr. Martin Arulas, sir, is an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science, School of Mathematics and Computer Science, Central University of Tamil Nadu. Sir has more than 16 years of work experience, which includes academic, research, and teaching. Sir research interest includes evolutionary computing, data analytics, business intelligence, multi-criteria decision making, and machine learning techniques. Sir has published research papers in world highly recognized journals such as IEEE Transaction on Evolutionary Computation, Elsevier International Journal of Information Management, Emerald, Inter Science, and other top journals. Sir has received 669 citation indices for his publication. His I index is 12. H index is 12, I index is 15, and his research works on quality bankruptcy data set has been recognized by Center for Machine Learning and Intelligent Systems. Brent School of Information and Computer Science, University of California, USA. Since it is published February 2014, more than 80,000 researchers has visited the qualitative bankruptcy data set. He has received a project grant from Tamil Nadu State Council for Science and Technology under Student Project Scheme 2020. He is a receiver of Applied Computing Elsevier, Information Science from Elsevier, Enterprises Information Management from Emerald, International Journal of Accounting and Information Management Emerald, and International Journal on Soft Computing. With these words about Sir, I request our Head of the department, Reverend Father Dr. Adekasamy, to lead us in prayer and welcome our eminent resource person. Father.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir, I am on the line. Dear participants, I welcome you all to participate in this international webinar series. To start with, let us all close our eyes and let us surrender ourselves in the hands of our Almighty God. Abba Father, Almighty God, in your mighty name, I surrender our international webinar series into your hands. Lord, be with us. Send your Holy Spirit among us so that we will be inspired what the resource person, Dr. Martin, is going to tell us. And you have given us a great, intelligent resource person for us. Lord, shower your grace upon us, especially on our resource person. And we surrender his education ministry into your hands. Lord, be with him and strengthen him, whatever he takes in the future. And also, I surrender our founder, Reverend Father Dr. J. Arulraj, into your hands. Our dear my sisters, especially our administrator, Reverend Sister Dr. K. Sandhya, our principal, Dr. Ruben, vice principals, HODs, and especially our PG Department of Commerce staff members. And also, I surrender all our participants into your hands. Mother Mary, intercede for us. Saint Joseph, intercede for us. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. With this prayer, I am happy to welcome Dr. Martin Aruldas, an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science, School of Mathematics and Computer Science, Central University of Tamil Nadu. On behalf of our founder, Chairman, Reverend Father Dr. J. Arulraj, our administrator, Reverend Sister Dr. K. Sandhya, our principal, Dr. R. Ruben, our vice principal, Mrs. Shamala Alexander, on behalf of PG Department of Commerce, dear Dr. Martin Aruldas, sir, we are happy to have you as a resource person for our international seminar. And when we were trying to get the resource person, I think God has given us a wonderful resource person. As Dr. Solomon rightly pointed out his achievements and his research area of computer science or computing skills, data analytics, business intelligence, multi-criteria decision making, and machine learning techniques. And in this current situation, all the institutions and business activities, academicians, students, they are turning to online education and online business. So it's the right time for the academicians to have the online learning, how we can do the efficient learning through online. So God has given us a intelligent and wonderful resource person for us. Welcome, sir, on behalf of founder chairman and on behalf of St. Joseph's College, we welcome you, sir, to have this session. And also I welcome our administrator, Reverend Sister Dr. K. Sandhya, our principal, our vice principal, all the HODs, and especially all the participants. Participants, with your support, we are doing wonders. And I welcome you all. Have a wonderful session. And always, we are there to support you. And also, we will have many more international webinar series also. So, as a PG Department of Commerce, and I welcome you all. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Solomon.
Thank you so much, Father. I request now our today's resource person to address our participant. Martin, sir, please, sir. Martin, sir. Martin, sir. Martin, sir, are you with us?
Hello, I am. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are able to
Okay.
see now.
Yeah. Fine. Now things okay. Okay. Yes. Yes.
Welcome, dear sir. Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, little bit trouble in sharing my screen. Just I have resolved the problem. I'm ready now.
Yes, sir.
Very good morning to one and all. My voice is audible.
Yes, sir. We are
All
able
my
to
voice
hear
is
you.
audible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We are able to hear
Yes,
you.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, okay. Respected administrator, respected principal, vice principal, IQC coordinator, head of the Department of PG Department of Commerce, Reverend Father Adakilasamy, dear staff members, dear participants. I am very happy to join this seminar as a resource person. I feel very proud to be the resource person of this international webinar. First of all, I am very happy about St. Joseph's institutions. I actually my schooling and my college studies, everything I completed only St. Joseph's College, Kadalur. Today I am going to be a resource person, St. Joseph's College in Chennai. I am also very much happy about St. Joseph's institutions because my entire family, my brothers, everyone has studied from St. Joseph's only. Always. I would like to congratulate the. I came to know that you are organizing series of webinar. Really, it's very pleasure to know that one. So, with a lot of dedicated efforts, you are doing a wonderful arranging lot of webinars. Congratulations to everyone. My special thanks to the Reverend Father Adakilasamy for giving this opportunity. Okay, with this small welcome note, I wish to go into the topic. This topic is very quite interesting, and you selected a right topic, that is impact of COVID-19 for interactive and personalized learning in ICT. If you think that technology plays today key role, technology plays key role everywhere. You just think about railways. Today, when you want to book the ticket, you need not go to railway station, stand in a long queue. Things have gone. Simply in your home, from the mobile phone, you can book the ticket. From the system, you can book the ticket. Not only that one, you may know about one particular app. Where is my train? So what a wonderful app this one. You need not worry when the train is going to come, whether it is the correct time it's coming or half an hour late. No, nothing. You need not worry. Simply, if you click that app, it will show where the train is now. If the suppose you think about another area, that is hospital. Nowadays, in most of the cases, technology, information technology is playing key role in the hospital. You think about Jipman Hospital. In Jipman Hospital, almost operations are carried out with the robotic hands. Just think about how precisely the robot is designed such that it makes the operation with the human help, the cutting, how much centimeter, how much depth. If any small error happen, it leads to big loss. But technology has been designed such a way that you are performing surgery with a robotic hand. Not only that one, always now the webinar is going on. I am in Kadalur, you are in Chennai, different participants in different place. We have been connected and now the webinar is going on. That is the advancement happening in the information technology. Because of that advancement only, today IT sector, even Google has given their employee to work from home. Such a infrastructure you can able to made through this information communication technology. Similarly, so I told in the railways, I told in the information technology, I told in the hospital management, in everywhere technology plays key role. Similarly, in the education sector, what is the role that technology is going to play? Because of this technology, what's the outcome you are going to have? So that's why he said that the topic we selected, impact of COVID-19 for interactive and personalized learning in ICT. On this COVID-19 situation, what kind of impact the ICT has created for staff and teachers, students for interactive and personalized learning. That is the objective of this particular webinar. So with that, I will just enter into the topic. So the question is information and communication technology. Just a small intro about ICT. Then in the second topic, teaching and learning using ICT, there I wish to discuss about what are the different tools are available, what are the different technologies available, such a way that it is what the impact it is created for interactive learning and teaching. Then impact of COVID-19 on ICT. Then what are the opportunities it is created and what are the challenges. These are the simple titles I am going to have it. Now I want to introduce about ICT. So ICT means information and communications technology. It consists of what are things it consists of? It consists of social media, your internet, mobile phone, laptop, computer, all these things. In addition to that, also saying that you have the social media, because social media plays today vital role. So we are sharing so many information through the social media. Now this session is live session is happening in the YouTube. So through social media, so the collection of all these things we are calling as a information communication technology. In short time, we are saying as a ICT. So what is ICT? So see this this definition: store, retrieve, manipulate, transmit or receive information electronically in a digital form. So all the information which is related to your teaching and learning can be stored, can be retrieved, it can be manipulated. Manipulation, some kind of modification, addition, all these things. And you can transmit from one place to another place, or you can receive the information from one place to another place electronically in a digital form. So that is the thing of ICT. So we may think ICT in this way, considering all uses of digital technology that exist to help individuals, business, and organizations for the manipulation of information. So with this, all the ICT technology, how far you can efficiently process your information so that the things can be executed efficiently and in a simplified manner. So that is the objective of the ICT. I just want to share ICT on family. Okay, as most of the education, almost all the education students are now following the work from home as advisory from our government of India to control the spreading of coronavirus. Just in the family, almost everyone we are using the ICT tools directly or indirectly. I want to share incident with you. 2 weeks before, I have handled the classes, online classes, for my students through Skype. Then another in my laptop, another laptop, my sister, my wife, my spouse has attended the webinar conducted by some institution. My daughter she is studying 9th standard. She started attending the classes, online classes with the mobile phone, and my son is attending Hindi class. So almost four people, that's that our family is engaged on the ICT. So today everyone is using the ICT directly or indirectly, not only education purpose, on for different purpose we are using the ICT. Fine. So what general ICT tools for teaching and learning? For teaching and learning, what are the different ICT tools are available? So we can say like this: internet, television, smartphones, projector, pen drive, digital cameras, teleconferencing, digital library, tablets, desktop, laptops. So many items are available, and it's in turn, in addition to that, we are having the social media techniques also. Fine. The ICT, we are having so many things. I want to say two more things. I want to emphasize it. One is called as Google Translate. It works purely on voice-based search. You can make a text-based translate also, or you can use the voice-based also. Like this, in the Amazon also, you may come across one particular tool called as Alexa. So it is it works. It's a voice-based search engine. Whatever the song you are looking for, it will search and it will give. That is voice-based search engine. Voice-based search engine. Maybe after some times you may say to Alexa, please find a best groom for me, best bride for me, or you can say best pair for me. It is going to happen because today almost you are using Google for everything. Your Gmail is there, your Google Map is there, location is there, where you are going, what time you reached, to whom you went. All the information is known by the Google. So what's your interest, to whom you will talk, how much hours you'll be spending. Suppose even if you talking to your friends, how much hours you will be spending, 5 minutes, or which friend you will be talking more hour. Everything is known by Google. So after 24 years, if you say that Google, please find a best match for me, some person Ram is asking to Google, means surely it will say it is possible because Google knows everything. So that's why that the Amazon Echo, that Google Translate are all voice-based search engines. So in the ICT, these are the key tools. And another one is called as Poplet. Poplet is a tool allows you to visualize ideas. It's a mind mapping tools. You can have it's one of the brainstorming tool. Okay, so that is these are the different kind of ICT tools are available. Fine. Next, I want to say introduce about emerging technologies for interactive learning in the ICT. So interactive learning, so one-to-one interaction, many-to-many interaction. Now we are going to have the many-to-many interaction. For them, lot of tools are available. Usually, generally people before this COVID, mostly aware about Google Duo and Skype. Now we have enormous number of tools. Google Meet is there, WebEx is there, Zoom is there, Microsoft Teams is there. Okay, so lot of interactive learning mechanisms are available for interactive learning in the ICT. Now another one is so previously what I told is emerging technologies for interactive learning. Now next one is integrated platform for ICT. Integrated platform for ICT. For this one, integrated platform for ICT, you may come across one terminology called as MOOCs, massive open online courses. Very, very important thing. That is, it provides a integrated platform. The previous one only interactive learning, interaction. Whereas this one MOOCs provides a integrated platform for to conduct the online class. That is, you can assign the assignments. You can share your assignments. you can conduct the exams, you can conduct the quiz, you can conduct the even online in the Google Classroom. It provides the Google Meet. You can have the online classes also, and attendance, students attendance we can maintain, and you can have the list which student have submitted, which is not submitted, and you can fix the deadline. All these facilities are available. So that is why I said that integrated platform for ICT, or we can say like this, integrated platform for personalized learning or interactive learning. For that one, we have MOOCs. MOOCs is available in different forms. Okay, Edmodo tool is there, Google Classroom is there, Scholarly is there. So many varieties of tools are today is available. Now, I want to go into the little bit depther manner, teaching and learning using ICT. Okay, so what are the teaching learning tools are available for interactive teaching and learning? That's the objective of the second thing. Okay, for that one, first we want to introduce about education 1.0 to 4.0. You may come across the film Yendran 2.0. Like this, you are having a thing called as the education. Also, we have education 1.0 to 4.0. So what this education 1.0? So some kind of classification was made. Okay, what this one 1.0? 1.0 means here, see here, education 1.0 means, okay, so it's a classroom teaching. Classroom teaching is everywhere. Purely it's a classroom teaching. So students always depends upon the faculty to learn the things. That is the classroom teaching education. That is the 1.0. Now you are going to have the education 2.0. That is the education 2.0. The next level of thing is that from education 1.0 to education 2.0, the education 2.0, the web WW was introduced. That is impact of World Wide Web in education system. That means most of the institutions started to have the websites. You may send the applications through the website. You can have the mail communications. Assignments sent to the students through the mail, and that is study materials are shared to the students through the mail. So that is called as a education 2.0. Then education 3.0, that is very important. Okay, so now we are in the paradigm of education 3.0. So what is education 3.0? So that is varieties of way to integrate technology into learning. That is integrating technology for learning. So that is the education 3.0. So lectures move online digital learning. Now almost all the students having the online, that is that online course materials are available, online video material is available. Okay, that is the education 3.0. Nowadays almost we are having Swayam, we are having MOOCs, all these things examples for the education 3.0. Next, the very important thing near to our title, that is called education 4.0. That is applying the technology for interactive learning, applying the technology for the interactive learning. So applying the technology means what are the technologies are available? Okay, artificial intelligence, machine learning, Internet of Things. Okay, we will discuss one by one what way these technologies can be used for personalized learning, interactive teaching. Let us see these pictures. Okay, first I am showing data analytics and learning analytics. Next one is artificial intelligence and machine learning. Third one, you are having Internet of Things. Fourth one, you are having the cloud computing. Okay, so in the education 4.0, these are the technologies going to play crucial role to make the education as a very personalized to a student, personalized to a teacher. We are going to make it. So I am not going to very deeply discuss about the techniques, but what is the technique? How the technique is going to apply in the interactive manner for the education. That's the way I am going to discuss. First, I start with the big data and data analytics. Okay. So here, data, you maybe know it. My name, Martin. Your name, Sujata. You are from some institution. All these things are called as data. What is one big data? What is mean by data analytics? What do you mean by analyzing the data? How far you are going to analyze the student data? How far you are going to analyze the teacher data? So you can have a different perspective. First, we will discuss about what do you mean by big data. Whether data is going to be big size, obviously data is going to be in a big size. See here, the rapid technological developments have made a lot of new technologies. You may come across WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, Skype, YouTube, various mobile applications. These technologies have created tremendous amount of data. Because of this, lot of advancement in the internet, in the information technology, new technologies have been introduced to share the not only text, images, videos, audio files, all kind of files. Previously, in the previously we'll be sharing only the text. Nowadays, what happened? Not only text, you can share any kind of data. Now see here, because of the advancement of communication, we are using WhatsApp. The WhatsApp, what are doing? You are sharing so many information. Okay, within a friends group, within a family group, within a students group, faculty group, or whatever the group, we are sharing lot of information. Suppose now government has given work from home. Okay, lot of discussions happened between teachers whether work from home is necessary or teachers may go on their institutions whether they can work or when they can have the classes. Before the September end, UGC is recommend to conduct the exams of final years. So lot of discussions, lot of information in terms of a video file, audio file, text file. It has been shared through the social media. So you may take WhatsApp is on social media. Facebook is another one. And you are having a Facebook. So just think about within this particular minute, how much of data may be shared through WhatsApp or Facebook or any other social media. You cannot think much, huge, more than what we are expecting. Such kind of data is transferred. And you may come across another one social media thing called as Twitter. Very fantastic tool, Twitter. Okay, you may be experienced. You need not know your friend's address. In the WhatsApp bundle, you should have the contact number. In the Facebook, one has to refer to others. Whereas in the Twitter, simply you know the trend. COVID-19 today's situation. Just to put it, hashtag. You will get all the tweets which is related to COVID. So that is the beauty of the Twitter. Any film is introduced, any course is introduced, any social issue, all the information you can get it from the Twitter. So just think about, it's a little amount of data. Sure, that's a huge amount of data is shared. Not only that one, if you go for online, so nowadays almost all the people started to use the online. That is, you are using Flipkart, Amazon, so many number of online websites for purchase. That is online e-commerce. Okay, so what this particular fellows are doing. So when you are entering into the website, who is that one? How much hours you are spent? What item you selected? What item you not selected? At what price you are looking for? Any instant discount is can be given to this particular customer. What is the age group? What is the gender? from which location is coming, all the data. Your privacy is just gone. You are open to public. Okay, so that is like and dislike of a customer. Related items you have viewed, recommended items for you in home improvement. Okay, when you see some item, then the Amazon or the Flipkart, the online website started to give their suggestions. Okay, related items you have viewed, some you might have seen some item. For that one, what are related items that will be showing, or recommend items for you in home improvement. So if you look into the Amazon or Flipkart very keenly, okay, all the recommendations based on your search history in the Google or in the search history in the particular website. So the customers data has been collected directly or indirectly from them. So that is the thing. Then if you just think about YouTube, Google, within in the YouTube, if you are looking for something, within a small point of time, you can able to access. You are looking some video files, some audio files, immediately you can able to receive it. But thing is very important thing. That is that when you are taking some video or anything from the YouTube, they know who are you, what you're looking for, what are your search history. Based on that, they'll be showing the advertisements you might be come across. When you see YouTube videos, after before starting the video, one ad will come. After 10 minutes gap or 5 minutes gap, they will be again displaying the advertisements. These advertisements are targeted advertisements. In the TV and all, we are seeing advertisements according to the timing. If it is serial time, means that some kind of advertisement is different. There they are projected to your common public. Whereas when you are watching YouTube video, when you are watching Netflix video, you have been targeted to a particular advertisement. So that is the beauty of the technology. So generating data, if you see that one, so one is that through the social media you are getting the data. Another one is through the scientific instruments. Okay, so lot of scientific instruments are available. From that we are collecting so many data. For example, mobile devices tracking all updates. When you are moving from one place to another place, okay, nowadays nobody is asking, sir, where is this particular street? Nobody is asking. Just in the Google map, they are saying, oh, I am in here, I have to go over this one. It shows the direction. So it means which person is moving where, what time is moving, there, how much hours you spend, how many minutes you spend, everything is monitored. So that is also huge amount of data is generated. Then sensor technology. Okay, so about agricultural feed, about climate, everything, all the things are collected. So now today data has been generated in a huge amount. That's why I said that this huge amount of data we are saying it as a big data. We are saying as a big data. Okay, usually the big data will be in the unstructured format. Okay, just structured means, suppose if you think about employee means employee name, his age, his salary. Okay, these are in the one particular format. Okay, name it is in string format, age it is in a number format. Whereas think about unstructured data, there is no any particular format. It may be a satellite image, scientific data, photographs, sensor sonar data, social media data, image data, video data. That's why it is called as a unstructured data. Just visualize the difference between structured and unstructured data. I am showing some this picture. Children are in the same size. Here the children is in the different size. Okay, that's why structured and unstructured. All the social media data will be an unstructured format. Because unstructured means video, audio, GIF, text also in a multilingual, Hindi, Telugu, Tamil. Okay, that's why it is a unstructured format. Okay, fine. So I just explained what do you mean by big data. Okay, now I'm going to do that one. How to extract knowledge from that. That is very important thing. Then after explain this one, I will relate to this one to education field. This one I relate to the education field. Okay, that is so far what I explained. What do you mean by big data? The collection we are saying is big data. The next thing is that how to extract knowledge from that one. So how to extract knowledge for that one. See this example. Okay, here the title is Friday Happy Hours. Friday Happy Hours. What's a Friday Happy Hours means? The US culture, in the Western European culture, in the Friday itself, there'll be weekend parties. They'll be having the weekend parties. Okay, so that is a Friday Happy Hours. See this picture. Then I'll show another picture. I'll relate you. Then I'll explain you. Maybe this example most of the people are aware. Just for refresh you, I am saying. Okay. Now next one is that diaper is given here. Walmart is given here. What is the interesting fact behind that? On weekend, especially on Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, they have huge sales on liquor. That is we expected during the lockdown period. Whenever government is going to announce lockdown for next complete lockdown for 15 days means we have huge sales in Taskmark. But in the US, on all weekend, they have huge sales in all the liquor item. But interesting fact is that whenever liquor sales is very high, diaper sales also high. So usually in the US, the kids will be wearing the diaper only. But the interesting thing is that when liquor sales is high, ultimately the diaper sales are also very high. That's why the Walmart has taken this problem. They have started to identify what's the reason behind that. So they called some data analysts and started to find the beer, diapers, data, and retail, how they are related. Okay, so you may, some of the people might have got the answer. The thing is that on weekends in the US, the husband has to take care of the kids. The wife will be clearing the house and they'll be preparing the food for the next 1 week. So during that time, what the husband want to do it, okay, they want to do it. They want to enjoy the weekend with the liquor as well as take care of the kids. So that's why whenever they are buying wine, they are also buying the diaper. So that's the they started how they identified means they collected the data from the people who are taking the beer, and they also collected the data from people who are bought the diaper. Then they started to match these data using the data mining concepts. They identified that okay, there is a the people who purchase the wine, those people only they are purchasing the diaper. So that's the relationship between these two items. Then what the Walmart did that it's a baby care item. Diaper is baby care item. It is a liquid. Both are in different sections. Then after that, they have arranged next to the liquor section. They had the diaper section. So the sales was increased manifold, and they have simplified the business, the sales. Okay, fine. So why I quoted this particular example? Big data, it's a huge data. It's a huge data. Okay. From the huge data, you have to extract the knowledge. So this is the knowledge you extracted. Similarly, what's the role data analytics going to play in the education? So that's a very important thing. So far I said a common example. Now you think about the role of data analytics in education. Okay, so that's the outcome is called as learning analytics. Called as learning analytics. Just you can define like this. It refers to the collection and analysis of data about learners and their environments for the purpose of understanding and improving learning outcomes. From the today, so many webinars is going on. video lectures are available. Swayam is there. So many institutions are offering online courses. Huge enrollment is happening. Thousands, 30,000, 29,000. This much of enrollment is happening. What the thing is that understanding and improving learning outcomes. So that is called as learning analytics. Not only that one, it is the measurement and decision. What is decision? Dissection means study its internal parts, study its internal parts, studying the internal parts of data, studying the hidden relationship between the data of about learners used to optimize the learning experience. Otherwise, data is analyzed for patterns and used to create a teaching strategy personalized to the individual student's strengths and weakness and learning preferences. See the last definition, third one, the data is analyzed for patterns and used to create a teaching strategy personalized to the individual students. Based on the different kind of students' feedback, the learning materials, evaluations, huge data you will be getting. From that, you will get the learning analytics. So that's one of the concept called as learning analytics for personalized and interactive learning. Okay. I am saying only one technology. There's still more technologies are available. Okay. At the end, we can say how far these technologies can be applied to improve the personalized learning. So now you might have understand little bit about what is meant by big data, how the knowledge can be extracted from the big data, how it can be applied for the teaching and learning. In teaching and learning, we'll be saying as here learning analytics. Okay, that's the big data. That's one technology. Next, I am going for next technology. Okay, this is one pictorial representation. Data is everywhere. That's the branch. Here you have the lot of data about the faculty and the students and learning materials. From that one, you apply the concept learning analytics. So you will be extracting new knowledge. You will be adaptive. Based on the outcome, you are going to adapt the new technology, new kind of methodology, a new methodology for the personalized learning. All these things. Now I am going to take you people into the next thing called as. Can you able to understand this one? Any information? So in the below the picture, I shown that sensor, actuators, mobile phones, electronic devices, home appliances. Any guess on this picture? But one thing you might have known that some connectivity between the things. Okay, that is interconnection of things. Interconnection of things. Interconnection of things means we can say as Internet of Things. What is Internet of Things? So far we have here the term called as internet. Internet means all the computers are connected, maybe laptop. That is called as internet. Now the advancement, Internet of Things, connecting different things. Things means anything. Your watch, your pen, your refrigerator, your car, your kid's book, your library, any building, anything. That's why it is called as Internet of Things. Connecting the different kind of items, connecting the different kind of things. That is called as IoT, Internet of Things. Just see this definition. IoT is a network of devices, any device. Even your pen is having micro camera. Okay, all the things, vehicles, any vehicle, home appliances, oven, refrigerator, your TV, whatever thing, your ring, maybe smart ring, smart watch, that use embedded systems are connected together through the internet with the aim of interaction, connective and data sharing. So for example, I will show a video. I think you can better understand. Just I will try to share the video. We'll see it. I'll share a video now. Yeah, fine. Just a minute. Fine. Are you able to see the video? Sorry, are you able to see the screen now?
Yes, sir, we able to see.
Yeah, fine. Good. Fine. Just you have seen the video about IoT. It is a simple video which explain how far all the devices have been connected. Your day-to-day life, you have been connected to different devices. How from the device, how these devices senses you notification to you. In future, surely it is going to happen. 10 years back, when you think about mobile phone, we just used for only for attending call, making call. Now the situation is different. Now some people have attended, some people, I think one people is in the road and his camera is on. I'm able to see whatever the areas he went. Okay, such a improvement, drastic improvements happen in the mobile phone. Similarly, this is going to happen. Maybe after 2 years or 3 years now, some industries start to use the IoT, but to the public, surely it is going to happen. I will take some incidents from this video. See here, that lady, when it's reaching that smart fridge, it says that refrigerator inventory. What are the items are available? What are the items are out of stock? Next one, the boy is going to school. When he's coming out of the home, he has got an alert. The refrigerator door is open. So he is going back and closing the door. Next one, the lady is entering into the office. Okay, she is receiving the message that rice and the eggs are out of stock and she is losing it 30 minutes. The next scenario I want to think about the visitor identification. The grandpa and grandma is both are coming. They have permitted approved guest list. So when both are appeared, their face is identified, recognized, and they both are allowed enter into the house. And at the end of the video, you might have seen there are two notifications. One is that room is occupied, lights on. Another one is 8 p.m. you close the door. So that is the power of IoT. That's the power of IoT. Internet connects computer. IoT connects devices and all the things. So what's the advantage? You can do the things efficiently in a very simplified manner. That's the thing. Now you may ask the question, what's its use in higher education or institution? Solely these devices are going to play a vital role in the higher education. So more connected devices, you will be having getting the more opportunities to utilize the data. You can have a smart campus. Okay, now our Prime Minister has initiated the things, smart cities, like these smart education institutions, or start from entering into the education institution, leaving from the education institution, when in the home, how to study, the materials, smart boards, increase sustainability, enhance learning experiences, outcomes, simplified learning. So all these things are going to happen with the IoT. So dear audience, I introduced so far two technology. One is called as data analytics, another one is called as IoT. The third one I am going to introduce about artificial intelligence. It's a very, very important thing. To each and every one activity is going to be analyzed, that behavior is analyzed, and the outcome is going to be given. I made a picture, city picture, okay, just for your understanding. There is another, next one is you have another robot called as Sophia. You might have heard Sophia. It is called as humanoid. It mimics the human body. This Sophia has attended one conference in the Hyderabad last year. During the conference, so many persons are given presentation. Like Sophia also given presentation. At the end of the persons, people started to interact. At the end of the persons, people start to interact. She is answering their queries. There one person is asked, Sophia, which thing do you like more? It says that I want experience the feelings of the human. That's a beauty. I want experience the feelings of the human. What is this meaning? That's why I pasted the chitty picture here. If you almost everyone has seen that film. In that film, the Vasigran has given expert. You'll be teaching to city about how to handle different things. But what happened is that city will be seeing the affection between Vasigran and Aishwarya, and the city started to feel that love, and he want to have that love. The same thing that Sophia said, that I want to experience the feelings of the human. Why I'm saying this particular incident? How far the technology has grown in the field of artificial intelligence. Machines acts like a human. Certainly it is 100% is not possible, but in certain level, surely the machine will be doing. Okay, such kind of systems, how far it can be applied to the teaching and learning? That's the question. It is possible. See, I told about data analytics, collecting data about a particular person, about a particular institution, particular teaching methodology. Second thing I told about IoT, connecting the different things. Whatever device you are going to use, all the devices can be connected. All the data can be extracted. That's the second thing. Third thing, we need intelligence. We need intelligent analysis. So that's why I told artificial intelligence can be applied. So it will transform the teaching and learning experience. Surely it is going to transform the teaching and the learning experience. First, I am saying I want to say about AI-based recommendation systems. Okay, so it will be recommending. You do this one, you do that one. For example, I am just see the 3 points. In a learning, you could use this data to see where students are stuck at a certain point. While watching the video, in which point the student is struggling. What kind of students are struggling in particular question. Then how they are handling that particular question. The AI will watch, the AI will provide solution. What's the difficulty of that particular student? Next, I want to introduce about smart AI chatbot. Chatbot, nowadays, if you go for any banking website, you may come across the thing called a chatbot. What it will do? Whatever the question you are typing, it will try to understand the question, it will give the answer. But most of the things, the built-in answer is available, but machine learning is there. This is a new concept is there. AI is the artificial intelligence. This technique is going to make the chatbot as a live. Based on your question, it will understand the context. It will try to give the answer. Dear participants, lot of technologies are available. Cloud is there. We don't have time already. I have another 25 minutes. So we have data analytics, we have artificial intelligence, IoT, cloud. So cloud, mobilizing the technology, mobilizing the memory space. Why it is cloud computing? What is the nature of cloud? Cloud, passing clouds. It will be keep on moving. When you need some technology, you use it for 6 months, then leave it. Like arranging a marriage. I am not building a marriage hall. I am going with all the arrangements. The marriage is happening, then coming back. For each marriage, nobody is building the marriage house. Similarly, when you want to use some technology, you need not buy the licensed version. You can buy it for 6 months. Use it, then throw it. That's the power of cloud computing. So, in information technology, we have so many number of technologies. Surely these technologies going to play a vital role It will transform our teaching and learning experience in a better way for interactive learning and personalized learning. Next, I want to introduce about some more things that are related to our education. MOOCs, massive open online courses. It is an online course aimed at unlimited participation and open access via the web. Collaboration between institution educators and learners locally and internationally. So it easy access to global resources. So through the massive, that is MOOCs, you can access any online courses. So it's a collaboration between institution educators and learners. Now in India, MOOCs is available, offered by SWAYAM under the Ministry of HRD. Okay, so it is called as Steady Webs of Active Learning for Young Aspiring Minds. It's a type of massive open online course. It is offered by Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India. So skill-based learning, lifelong learning. After completing the one particular degree, I am joining. No, the things are gone. You have to do. Now the Government of India insisting that all the faculties should go for SWAYAM and register for courses. Lot of courses are available. You must have a cross knowledge. I am belong to computer science means I should have the knowledge of finance. I should have the knowledge of banking. My PhD is interdisciplinary PhD. I did for bankruptcy prediction. How to apply the soft computing, computer algorithms for bankruptcy prediction. Before how precisely, how accurately it can be predicted. Before it is going to happen, some kind of cautions, alerts, how can be given in a very efficient way. So that is my PhD degree is computer science engineering and banking technology. That is cross knowledge. So when you want to have the cross knowledge, you please join in the SWAYAM. Then what are the special features of SWAYAM? It's a convenience of learning. So whenever you find time, you can go and learn. And it delivers quality education to the students, irrespective of their geographical location. I am in some small village, no problem. If you have smart mobile phone, you can join the course. A student can be in any place. A faculty can be in any place. If you feel some professor is good in this particular area, if he is offering an online course, you can join, you can learn it. So that is the special feature of SWAYAM. That's why I said MOOCs allow students sitting in the most remote corner of the world get access to the best educational content. Then what are the recognition of the SWAYAM means? One thing you have to visit the site swayam.government.in, and the thing is that SWAYAM offers only individual courses, not whole degrees or diplomas. It's not like a BSc Computer Science, BSc Physics, not like this. It offers individual courses. Suppose Python for data science, Python for commerce students, data analytics using Python. Like this, individual courses it offers. So that's a special thing of SWAYAM. Then all the institutions in India, almost SWAYAM typically offer courses by faculty from central universities, IITs, IMMs, ISCER, even now the St. Joseph's College of Chennai, Kovar, they can also offer. They have to send a application to the MHRD, get the permission, they will be sanctioning the amount. Then you can start to develop the course with your faculty, you can launch it. People will be getting benefit. Okay, so I want to do some course in IIT Madras. Due to some restrictions, I am unable to do it. But now SWAYAM makes it is possible. You can join a course which is offered by a faculty who is working in IIT, who is working in some premier institution in India, premier institution in the world. That is possible. That is the advantage of the SWAYAM. Not only our Government of India provides, it is also provided by the private parties and other institutions in universe. Okay, all over the world, different institutions are offering. So edX is there, Udacity is there, then Coursera is there, Khan Academy is there. Okay, so this most of the websites, most of the online courses are free. When you're doing the certification, you have to pay money. Some parties only asking, demanding the money for to join the course, but most of the cases it is freely available. Then you may think that, then what's the difference between learning from YouTube and Swayam or MOOCs or anything? In the YouTube, it's unstructured. So when you say machine learning, when you say data analysis, you will be getting so many number of courses. But here, structured, some unit mod, that is the four modules are there. That is complete learning experience means you will be offered video lectures, assignments will be given, quiz is given, learning material will be offered, exam is conducted, you will be offering certificate. That is possible in the Swayam. Whereas the YouTube is unstructured. You have to identify, you have to find the one material. Okay, so it is a learner centric. YouTube is a learner centric because learner can learn any kind of material from the YouTube. Where in the Swayam, the particular topic is given. That is also learner centric only. Teacher is providing, but a learner can improve the knowledge. Okay, so the YouTube only provides only video, whereas Swayam and MOOCs provide the four quantum. That is the four things. That is when you're saying MOOCs, you should satisfy four things. Video lecture should be available. That is, study material should be available. Assignment should be given. Quiz should be given. Learning material should be shared. Then evaluation should be conducted. Then I want to say a few things about the impact of COVID. COVID, after COVID. Before COVID, the things are very usual. So we will be having regular classes, assignments, exams, semester break. Most of teachers, students know about Swayam, but the number of registration is limited. We thought that, from my perspective, Skype is the only way of for conducting video conferencing. Some people are conducting, few webinars are conducted. Most of teachers not aware about webinars. So that's a situation. We are very much binded together, binded to the classroom teaching. Nothing wrong with that. This is situation before COVID-19. Now, impact of COVID-19 on ICT. Once lockdown was imposed by Government of India to control the spreading of coronavirus, most of the institutions started to implement the ICT meaningfully. So most of the institutions, online classes conducted over Moodle, Skype, WhatsApp, Google Class, even this particular, the prestigious institution, St. Joseph's, these started to conduct so many number of webinars. See how far it is very useful. That is, I won't say that. See, what is the advantage of webinars? Free of cost. Usually, when you want under 2 days workshop, 5 days workshop, how many difficulties? You will not be given no to webinars, no DA is required, no class alteration is required, permission from management is not required. Okay, no stay out of from your home. Irrespective of so many limitations, when you are going to attend the class, when you are going to attend the workshop during your normal working hours, webinars have provided a wonderful opportunity. So that's why I came some memes here. So back to college after lockdown. He is having big amount of certificates. Now one person is thinking, which webinar today? And the people also commented, the values right now it's thinking, but teacher was giving online lessons. Okay, fine. That is once the COVID impact, that is once the lockdown was imposed, the things were different. People, teachers, we have to congratulate the teachers. All the teachers started to learn about the new technologies, how to make the interactive teaching. So I should congratulate all the teachers. Okay, they came very boldly, they understand new tools, they started to apply it. Okay, drastic things are going on. Now, opportunities for students. So many students participate actively in attend online classes, study material, assignments are shared through Moodle, Google Class. Many students have joined online courses. And now Swayam, from this month, they are offering from July 20th on, the new courses are starting. You may enroll it. And not only that one, for your information, now internship programs, projects are all are available online. It is already, the deadline is for end. Just for information, see the CSIR, Summer Research Training Program, that is they are offering internship programs. Okay, for that one you can, that they will be offering through online. All the process will be happening in the online, and will be classes will be conducted, and you will be given projects, and you will be given the merit certificate. Okay, everything going to happen in the online. Not only that one, I already told you, SWIME is going to offer the online course. Okay, you may enroll it. And Udemy, that is the international organization, they are also offering courses with a lot of discounts. Okay, and I want to share one more information. Our Tamil Nadu government having the thing, Tamil Nadu State Council for Science and Technology, they are offering project schemes in different science stream, art stream, and engineering streams. They are giving the grant of 7,500. Actually, our students got a project. That's why I share that screen of the project. Okay, so we developed a project for fisherwomen who are in the Nagapattinam district. To sell the fish through online. This particular app is developed for fisherwomen who are residing in the Thiruvarur district, sorry, in the Nagapattinam district. We have completed the whole project. We have completed through only the online. Okay, so through screen sharing, through online chat, through the Skype, our students, 4 students have worked together with my guidance, and we have completed the project successfully. The project has been submitted successfully. So you may also apply it. So that's why I am sharing this particular information. Not only that one, nowadays all the industries are conducting competitions through online. That is, previously they will be visiting campus, then they will be conducting the interview and recruiting the people, campus interview. Now things going to drastic changes going to happen through online. Everything is going to happen, but one tool the industry is using is computations. Okay, if you see here, the top industries are available. IBM is there, Unisys is there, Infosys is there, ICT is there. Okay, all these industries are conducting the lot of events. Through that event, what is the thing is that every people can join, all the people can join. So if you are physically, you are going to assemble the space, so many constraints are available. The online means all over the India, all over the world can participate. From that, they can select the creamy students. I want to say that is TCS is there. TCS is one conducting one event called as that is that Code Vita. Code Vita, that's an event, it's an international event. Not only people from India, anywhere they can participate. The timing is 6 hours of time will be given. You will be given 5 to 6 problems. You have to find the solution. You have to send the solution through online. They will be verifying. Like that, they are identifying. So nowadays, this kind of way, the creamy people are identified. So students should utilize these opportunities. And not only that one, almost all the universities have started to connect the PhD Viva through online. So this is one, I have attended this Viva. That is Department of Banking Technology from Pondicherry University. Not only that, Central University of Tamil Nadu, almost all the institutions, all the state universities, all the central universities, IITs, everyone really started to conduct the online Viva. So that's that's the drastic change happened after the COVID. Then the final topic, that is challenges and personalization. I have another 10 minutes. Surely I will close by 11:30. Okay, fine. Challenges in the sense that, okay, so how far you are going to retain the attention. See here, the last 1.5 hours I am handling this class virtually. Usually the classroom, when you're seeing the student's face, a teacher will identify what kind of mentality he is now. Psychology will, he can attend the students' problem. But when the online class is happening, okay, I am not able to see the real faces. The much interaction is not happening. So I am missing that one. Okay, that is the attention towards online courses. How far you are going to during the online teaching? How far you are going to retain the students' attention? That's one. Recorded videos, student will study on his free time. Live class, that's the difficulties when 8 hours class, 5 hours class, 6 hours class, 4 hours class. How far you are going to retain the students' attention? Okay, so students have the advantage of they can mute video, audio. What you can do? How long you can say? Suppose 25 students are there, 50 students are there. How long you can say? That's the thing. They may mute both video, audio. They may do in some other work. So all these things may happen, and so these are things that is the surely I am missing the that is the classroom teaching, but online thing is very, very important. I hope in the future these tools will help the teaching will be a more interactive, more thing one. But other challenges is bandwidth problem, network problem. We cannot expect all the students will be having the very good smartphones, and the mobile data cost very much cost. 2 hours you are spending, how much data is generating? Suppose in a family 4 members are available, 4 members are using on daily online classes. For each person at least 1 GB, 4 GB is required. So when they want to do the continuous assignments, all these things. So these are the some little challenges are available. And some more limitations are available. Online student feedback is facial expression. We are getting the student. We are not able to students body language. E-learning can cause social isolation. E-learning requires strong self-motivation. That's very important. Self-motivation is the student or faculty, whoever it may be. Self-motivation is very much required. And there may be chances of malpractice while doing the online assessment, but still technology is available. I'm going to tell you. Okay, these are the some kind of limitations, but whatever thing, always limitations will be there. We have to overcome this one. Then I told when the for malpractices, there are certain ways are available. Now artificial intelligence proctor watches every move on webcam. Suppose you are going to attend any online exam through webcam, your all the things you will be watched. And the image recognition is there. Lot of image recognition software are available. It will ensure that whether the right person is taking the exam, and any person is trying to enter into the room, it will identify. When you open some other software, that also possible. Okay, so we can using this technology surely you can spot the cheaters. And government of India also offering lot of things, that is audio, video, e-content. Swayam is there, Swayam Prabha is there. So watch high quality educational programs on TV 24/7 hours available. And digital content, access journals and ebooks, National Digital Library is available. EPG Pathsala is there, get free ebooks, curriculum based e-content. Shodganga is there, Reserve of Indian Thesis. E-Shodganga Sindhu is there, e-journals are available. So these are the online repositories are available, developed by our government of India. And hands-on experience for computer science, not much difficult because almost all the software you can run through online. But for other things, E-Yantra, that is engineering for a better tomorrow. For when you want hands-on experience on embedded systems, you can use the E-Yantra. And you have FOSE is the free, libre and open source software education. And spoken tutorial you might have come across. Okay, a lot of things are doing. Virtual labs are available. Dear participants, I want to end with this one. So what we discussed is what is ICT and what are the new technologies. New technologies in the sense I said about data analytics, cloud computing, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence. Surely these things in future going to make the teaching as more interactive and learning as a more meaningful one. In addition to that, I have discussed about Swayam, MOOCs and webinars, what's the advantages, limitations, all these things I have discussed. I end up with this presentation, this webinar with one small story. Actually, in a small village, one person, a person who is, you'll be selling the gas balloons. You'll be going one place to another place and you'll be selling the gas balloons. You may have seen the, you'll be having the gas cylinder, through that the balloon is filled up and you'll be selling. Like this person, what is ready, one day is went to one village. A small boy came very eagerly and he asked that gentleman, uncle, he has seen a red balloon. Uncle, whether this red balloon will fly? He said, yes, it will fly. Then he has seen another balloon, green. Uncle, whether this green will fly? Yeah, that the balloon vendor said, yeah, yes, my kid, it will also fly. Then again is with out of curiosity, the boy is asking, is showing one a black color balloon. Uncle, whether this balloon will fly? The man understood. Man, my dear boy, this balloon also fly. For flying of balloon, color is immaterial. The gas which is present inside the balloon makes this balloon to fly. Dear teachers, including me also, attitude is very important. Whether it's online teaching or classroom teaching, whatever teaching, as a faculty, we should be adaptable to any kind of change. Change is the only thing is permanent. So with the advancement of lot of technologies, if we have the mindset of accepting the new technologies, your attitude is ready, surely you can be a successful teacher, whatever the thing. It may be code thing, you can be a very successful teacher. So with these small words, my sincere thanks to the organizing team, especially Reverend Father Dr. Radhikala Swami for giving this opportunity. Thank you, participants, for your passion listening and cooperation. Thank you, Anandal.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I invite Mr. Rishi sir, Assistant Professor, PG Department of Commerce, to thank our eminent speaker. Rishi sir.
Good morning, Anandal. It's my immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks to everyone. First, I would like to thank our resource person, Dr. Martin Aruldas, for sharing such a great things to us. The session was very useful and informative to all. Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to thank our participants to giving their valuable time and attention to this session. Thank you all. Now, I would like to thank our founder, Reverend Father Dr. J. Arulraj, our administrator, Reverend Sister Dr. A. Santiago Mary, our principal, Dr. R. Ruben, our vice principals, Mrs. Sham, Mrs. Vijayalakshmi, our head of the department, Reverend Father Dr. Radhikala, and staff members of PG Department of Commerce, visible to everyone. Thank you. And also thank our assistant admin, Mr. Jayachandran, for providing technical support for this session. Thank you, sir. Once again, I thank you all as well.
Thank you so much, sir. Father. Thank you, sir. Thank you. We all enjoyed your talk. From our heart, we thank you for the wonderful session. Now we move on to next session. Our next session will be start at 12 p.m. The topic for the session: innovative pedagogy paradigm, teaching for social change. So the feedback form already posted in the chat box. System admin sir posted the right feedback link, so you can click on the feedback link and fill the form.
Dear Sir Solomon sir, and
Yes,
on behalf of founder chairman, Reverend Father Dr. J. Arulraj, our administrator, Reverend Sister Dr. K. Sandhya Mary, our principal, vice principal, and all our staff members. I sincerely thank our resource person, Dr. Martin, and our invitation and presentation. Martin, so much. Thank you so much, sir, for your presentation and for your acceptance. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for thank you.
Yes, system admin sir posted the feedback link. Kindly click on that. Regarding the next session, start by 12 p.m. exactly. The topic for the session, innovative pedagogy paradigm, teaching for social change, which will be addressed by Dr. Shanti ma'am from Stella Maris College. The link for the next session will be sent to your mail address. So by clicking that, you will enter into the session, next session. Again, I'm repeating. Next session start by 12 p.m. Session topic, innovative pedagogy paradigm, teaching for social change. The session will be live for us from 12 p.m.